Hello and welcome to Guitarist Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.guitarist.com. My name is Jason JROCK Houston. Today we're speaking with Boy Hits Car lead singer guitarist Cregg Rondell. How are you doing today, Craig?
Hey Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great. Now, how long has the band been together? Because to be honest, until your publicist reached out to me, I never really heard of the band. So I'd like to get a little bit of a history on the band.
Yeah, for sure. So I started the band with my buddies a couple buddies I grew up with, and we had been in a previous band, kind of more of a hardcore, kind of crossover band in the late '80s, early '90s.
Okay. Yeah,
and then our drummer left, and so after he left, I kind of was like, well, I feel like going in a different direction, sound-wise, something more melodic, heavy but melodic.
And let me ask, in the previous band, were you the front man too, or?
Yeah, it was just I didn't really play guitar at the time.
Okay.
I was just straight up,
And so what's that like, going from just being the singer to playing guitar too? Because I know that's a very difficult thing to do, is being up on stage and having to remember all the words to the song as well as all the guitar parts.
Well, I'll be totally honest, Jason. I used the guitar back then more as a songwriting tool. I didn't start incorporating it into the live
show
until the late '90s.
Oh wow!
And that's when I had tried it a few times, but it seemed super awkward.
Yeah.
To have a guitar and a strap, the traditional style. So the original guitar player Louis suggested a Gracie stand.
Okay.
He's like, "What if you?" And I was like, "What the hell is a Gracie stand?" He's like, like Santana uses one, and so I kind of looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
So like Santana will be playing the acoustic, but he'll have the electric around his neck.
Okay.
And then when so it holds the acoustic guitar, so you don't have to
have it on constantly.
You don't have to have it on. So.
Oh wow.
So that was like that kind of turned it into
something.
The show that it is today.
Oh wow.
With the 12-string on a Gracie stand. And when I need to play, I just step up. And
now explain that, Craig, to me, because again, I'm not a musician. I'm just a music fan, and I was reading up on the fact that you do play 12-string guitar. Now, besides the number of strings, what's the difference for people in just a typical 6-string versus a 12-string?
Well, again, being totally honest, Jason, I'm not a musician either.
Oh wow!
I'm a songwriter.
Okay.
But yeah, like. A musician to me is like I don't know, like somebody like Miles Davis or something. Somebody who's super proficient.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of guys, in the rock scene that I consider total musicians.
Yeah.
They can play their instrument, they could write, they do it all. I can play the guitar, but like I said, it's mainly a songwriting tool.
Okay.
But I digress here.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it's what was the question?
Well, basically, what's I don't know if you could answer it. Then, for somebody that's not a musician themselves, besides the number of strings, what does a 12-string guitar give you versus a typical 6-string?
For me, more room for air.
Okay, there you go.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not, but I am. It basically gives a fuller sound.
Okay, makes sense.
So, and
more notes to work with, maybe when you're writing.
Yeah. Like if you, to me, with a 6-string, you notice when you kind of make a mistake.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
That's not the only reason. I want to be clear. It's also we do open tuning, so the 12-string adds kind of a more Eastern vibe when it's tuned to our specific tuning.
Wow.
Which we just call open tuning.
Yeah.
Kind of more of a sitarish vibe, which is
okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Well, I gotta tell you, Craig. I'm surprised to hear you say that, but you know better than I do, that you don't consider yourself a musician. You're more of a songwriter. Because again, typically people think of a musician as, you know, it could be a singer, it could be a drummer, it could be any guy in the band that takes part in creating the music. And I would just say, you know, before having a chance to talk to you today and listening to the song and watching the video for the song, which I believe is Injustice Fatigue, you have me fooled. I mean, I'm convinced you're a musician.
I've said that, and people have said that to me over the years, but like as time goes on, and I see people who
really are,
like, like they're like, there's, like I said, there's guys out there in the rock scene, and then of course there's, you know, gnarly blues players and jazz guys that are, of course they are. And I'm just,
and what's crazy about hearing you say that is, again, you know yourself better than I do, but you don't consider, on one hand, you don't consider yourself a musician, yet you make a living making music and going out there.
All right, here we go. Total transparency and honesty.
Sure.
I wish I still was able to make a living just doing music.
Oh, I get you. You're a working musician like a lot of people.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, I guess like, you know, I guess like if you had a job painting houses and you're like, oh well, I just kind of do this on the side, I'm not really a painter, other guys are, but you know, you're making a living doing it. That's kind of the point I'm making. But I'm not here to argue with it. I just think it's a fascinating part of your story, because again, listening to the one track and watching the video for you know, Injustice Fatigue, I would describe just again based on the one song and the video, to me, you guys have kind of a modern rock sound with a twist of metal to what you do. You definitely got a metal thing going. So let's move from that to like, who are some of your influences growing up? Would you say you were equally influenced by guitar players as you are singers?
Well, I would say I was influenced more by bands.
Okay.
Yeah, like collectives.
Okay.
Of course, there's a few singers that I like still hold in, you know, high regard.
Yeah, like who are those guys that you try to, I don't know if you want to say model yourself after, but definitely kind of point to and say, you know, it's because of this guy and this guy that I'm doing what I'm doing.
Oh, well, I would say, you know, for me, people like, it's kind of across the board.
That's fine.
I mean, like David Byrne.
Yeah.
And, you know, Terry Farrell. Jane's Addiction was a big influence.
Well, see, I could see those influences again, because great frontmen, great singers and songwriters, and let's be honest, I think that's the key for any band really have any kind of success. You got to have songs. You got to be able to write a good song, because I mean, even like in my lifetime, bands I've been listening 40, 50 years old, you know, that are still being played on the radio, you know, the Eagles, Deep Purple, you know, Aerosmith, you know, Kiss, a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of that stuff is still being played because those guys were not just great musicians, they were great songwriters.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, there you go. That's why they're called the classics.
Yeah.
It holds up today, and now you have young bands coming up who are, you know, massively influenced by these guys, and it's amazing to me how they've transcended generations. You know, it's like wow, to me that's success.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story here. I had the opportunity about a year and a half ago to interview Mark Stein. He's the lead singer of Vanilla Fudge, and he was telling me that actually he's like he had John Lord from Deep Purple. You think, oh wow, who came before John Lord? He's like, John Lord told me that I influenced him. I'm like, wow, just imagine that, you know?
Oh man, seriously, that's there you go. That's something where you're that's very shocking.
Yeah, and then, you know, like Carmine Appice, I interviewed him, and he was telling me about when he toured with you know, he was good friends with John Bonham, and he's like, you know, Bonham told him that, you know, Carmine, you influenced me. I mean, again, just imagine that, you know. These guys.
I would blow my mind for sure.
And so, again, we're talking about the new video, the single for Injustice Fatigue. Since you're real proud of your songwriting ability, as you should be, what's that song about, or how do you feel about telling people what the song is about?
I tend to let people come up with their own interpretation.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say, there's I feel as humans, we each person might encounter a sense of injustice, but it's different, I think, for different people.
Yeah. I'm with you there. As a fan myself, I often love to listen to like the lyrics of a song, try to figure out what the song's about, or even maybe because of my own personal life experience, what the song might mean to me. And that's the cool thing about interpretation. While you very well know what you wrote the song about, somebody may get something else different out of this song because of their life experience. They may tell you, this song reminds me of, my mom and dad, dying or whatever. And you're like, oh, wow, I'm glad the song means that much to you, even though that's not what it's really about. And again, like you say, you don't really want to ruin what it's about for somebody else.
Exactly. It's like that's 8 billion people or something on the planet. Everybody's going to have
a different
possibly a different interpretation, a different life experience. But I feel on a global, conscious level that there's certain injustices that we all can feel and we all have felt as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's kind of like, if you listen to the song, I think people will get a different experience depending on their life experience.
And as a songwriter, that's got to be a pretty cool thing for you. First of all, have somebody come up and tell you, hey, this song really means this to me. And you're like, again, kind of thinking, wow, you have different people giving you a different interpretation of what the song's actually about. And it's almost like a poet. You know what you wrote the poem about, but it's like, wow, I can't believe all of these people interpreting this song differently, but it means something to different people.
And right there is
the beauty of art. The beauty of art.
It's subjective. It's going to mean different things to different people. When some people would look at a Salvador Dali painting and be like, what the hell is that? And others are like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen,
And and it's amazing. Like, I was just watching the news last night, and you have these people, because of their political beliefs, for example, trying to ruin like these century-old, like, famous art paintings because maybe the painter didn't see things politically as they did, or for whatever reason, which is kind of stupid. You're trying to ruin somebody's art, because of your political view. I think there's a different way to, maybe they should go create a painting, and they could kind of speak their mind if they want.
Yeah, I think when you start
destroying art,
and just destroying somebody else's
creation.
The problem is they're not talking and discussing. They're just yelling and creating their own realities, and
I miss the art of a debate, if you know what I mean. Where you could have two opposing. I'm not even talking politics, just life. You could have two opposing views and kind of, okay, let's have a discussion about that, but we don't have to hate one another.
No. Buy you a beer afterwards, whatever. It's okay. We all, at the end of the day, everybody wants, for the most part, a large percentage of humanity wants the same thing, so it's just,
And so, Craig, let me ask you, I always love to ask people, like, again, when I got the press release on the band, first thing that kind of stuck out was the band's name, before I even went to watch the video. I love to ask people, because Boy Hits Car, it kind of is an original sounding name, great sounding name to me for a rock band. Probably not too many other bands with that name. So how did you guys come up with that?
Well, we start, and I don't even know if I actually answered this question, so I'll answer it now. The band was officially started in 1993.
Oh, okay.
Early, I want to say February of 1993, when we came out of that kind of hardcore crossover scene. And we wrote 4 songs fairly quick once we found our drummer. And one of the songs was called Boy Hits Car.
Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. And the song was about a young man, whatever, trying to find his way. And, I remember one of the lines was digging in the dirt, searching for his dream.
Wow.
And so we actually, before it became the official name, we had some other names, that weren't very good. And it actually came in a dream to use it as the band name.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a dream and
again, Boy Hits Car. Just hearing the name, it kind of evokes all kinds of images, And I think I don't know if you consider yourself more of a modern rock band or even a metal band, but it's definitely kind of a heavy, hard-edged name. And I think for kind of music you guys do, I think it's very fitting. It gets people's attention and kind of lets people know, okay, this is not some squeaky clean pop band,
Well, I'm glad you get that.
Yeah.
Not everybody does.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you got that, Jason.
Yeah, cool. And so I'd imagine, being that that's the song the band is kind of named after, almost always you got to at least play that song in the set, right?
I don't honestly, dude. That song we recorded for a tape.
Oh, wow.
4-song demo tape, and I think my brother might still have a copy of it.
Okay.
And the demo tape didn't even have the name; it just had the songs because we still hadn't
named the band. Yeah, we hadn't decided on that name for the band. It actually took like a year and a half or so. Oh, wow.
Till we named it, and
so Craig, what's currently going? I mean, you got the new single video, but my question is, are you guys working towards a full length CD, or are you kind of just releasing singles right now?
Well, no, we've had this song, and honestly, this album.
Yeah.
We started tracking this album in 2018.
So what would you say that the album was kind of been sitting and waiting, and then COVID kind of got in the way?
Well, a couple things happened. Before COVID, a label out of LA called Cleopatra Records.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with them. Wow.
Yeah, they reached out to us and wanted us to do a live album.
Okay.
So we had already started tracking the current album that includes Injustice Fatigue, but we kind of put it
on
to
hold.
The side, and started recording this
new
album for Cleopatra.
Oh, okay. So I'd imagine they're happy with that. I mean, so they probably still want the live album, but they would rather have new music first, huh?
We did a couple cover tunes as well.
Oh.
For that album, they wanted a live album, but then a couple covers as well. So we did a couple covers, and then the new record, we all just wanted to have somebody, a partner, a label, whatever, somebody to come in with us. So it just took a while. And so
the new album's coming out on Cleopatra too?
No, it's on Dark Star.
Dark Star. Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you what I know about Cleopatra. I know they released some stuff from back in the day when I was growing up, like from LA Guns, Warrant, when Janie Lane was still in the band. Like they put out a greatest hits album, I think, from Warrant, and they always feature a couple new tracks on those releases. But Dark Star Records is a great up and coming label. I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, they released the latest solo album from Tony Martin, who was a singer for Black Sabbath in the 80s and early 90s. And he's never really gotten a serious push from a label since being in Black Sabbath. And that album came out, and it's been doing great numbers. And they have these other bands on the label, Vante and I think Voodoo Moonshine. All these bands. And what I love about the label, they got a great roster of artists, and they really pump the hell out of their bands.
Yeah, it's been a really cool experience because we've been kind of for quite a while now. We've been basically we do it on our own. We pay for the recordings, we do everything, but just to have, we would do it all on our own and then just license it. You're usually to a European label or distributor, but to have somebody actually involved in helping and pushing and, you know, even monetarily helping out.
Because I can tell you, you know, Dark Star Records, I mean, they've given me a lot of great bands that are on their label, like, to interview, but I'll tell you, what I've really been impressed with is not just the bands, but the way they promote the hell out of the bands on the label. I mean, a lot of people are just starting to hear about Dark Star Records, but I can tell you, Vante, that's one band over the last year. Their album kind of just came out of nowhere, and you're hearing all this stuff about this band Vante, and all the other bands as well. But I mean, it's like, who's this band Vante? And you find, oh, they're on Dark Star Records. It's just amazing what they do for their artists.
Yeah, we've been really. It's been a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
You know, having somebody, a partner, basically. You know, just somebody to.
And I think things are going to start to change for you guys, because besides having a great record label, I mean, your publicist Chip, I mean, he's been giving me many great interviews over the years since I've been doing this, and he's really great at what he does. Just to let people know, Boy Hits Car, folks, shares the same publicist as Michael Schenker of a legendary Judas Priest. So I think you're in pretty good hands with all these people working with you guys behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Just to have anybody behind the scenes besides us is just a real breath of fresh air.
Because, you know, Craig, I mean, the thing is, let's be honest, not a lot of bands even have record deals anymore. It's like, what's a record deal? So the fact that you even are signed to anybody or is even willing to sign, that says a certain something about the talent of this band, you know, that people are that interested in working with you guys. And also, I think, you know, being independent, it's great and everything, but of course, when you have a label on you get a little more money, a little more push. So I think that's a good thing too.
Yeah, it's really been it's been nice to have somebody just to help us out. You don't feel like, how the hell are we going to do this, you know? And it's still challenging even with a label, but just to have somebody there that knows how maybe a better way to navigate the industry.
Yeah. And let me ask you, Craig, do you feel like, and for the first time in the band's long history, like your band is finally getting noticed, you know what I mean, or a little more so than usual?
Well, more so than usual. I mean, we did have a decent push back in the, I would say, like the
early 90s.
Late 90s.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like we'd signed a few deals. The first one we did in 97, and then we did another deal basically in 2000. And that one in 2000, they definitely invested in the band. Yeah. And we had a pretty good push.
Well, I'm glad you stuck with it, because some people would have given up by now. But
well, like I said, we have to do other things to subsidize our income, but you don't do this out of making money. I mean, you just do it because you're called to do it, or at least I was. It was just like, oh, that's what
I mean, people would be surprised to find out that like a band I mentioned earlier, Warrant. I mean, they were a multi-million selling band years ago, all over MTV. They sold a ton of records. Now the original singers passed on, and the other guys are carrying on the legacy of the band, and but they're not making nowhere near what all those guys too. Believe it or not. They're doing the weekend gig thing and have day jobs. So people would be very surprised, you know, these guys that they think are major rock stars are not the millionaires they think they are.
No, I don't. It is shocking. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because you know, a band like that.
And that's why you got to respect even guys like that. Not because they're great, talented bands, but they've stuck with it. They made their millions or whatever back in the day. They could have just lived off their royalties, but they're still out there putting out new music.
Yeah, because that's, I can't speak for them, but I'm sure that's what they're here to do.
Yeah.
And you do it.
Yeah, in fact, that's one thing.
The money and the stardom is like icing on the cake, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. It tells me that you're a pretty creative guy too, because from the history of your band, you could, like a lot of these bands, just kind of live off your laurels and okay, we're just going to live off our catalog music we have. Why bother putting out new records? Nobody buys CDs anymore, but I dig the fact you guys still are creating new music, still giving something new to the fans.
Yeah, it's like a necessity.
Oh, sure, sure.
Keeps you sane.
And so, Craig, before I let you go, what's going on with the band as far as, I mean, is the record going to come out this year or early next year?
It's going to come out next year. You know, we're really trying to kind of
give it a
get
good
the
push.
name out there, and get the song out there, create awareness,
sure,
and then, you know, drop.
And you guys plan to do any touring before then?
We only have a couple shows. We have an LA play at the Whiskey.
Oh, okay.
And a Vegas play. The 9th, December 9th at the Whiskey, and December 10th in Vegas. And then I assume, unless, you know, something happens, that'll be that for the year. And then hopefully we can, you know, get it going next year.
The show at the Whiskey, is that a headlining show, or are you guys opening for somebody?
We're supporting a band. You might remember this band called, what are they called? They're called Earshot.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Well, good luck with that. And before we go, I want to thank you for taking time to talk to me, Craig. And let's keep in touch, because I really like what I heard from the band. You know, the one single so far. I can't wait to hear the rest of the album and the next single when it comes out. And so I'd like to keep in touch with you. And I just want to, before we go, wish you a happy holiday season and wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, you as well, Jason. Thanks for taking the time and the interest. And you got my number, so...
Yeah, sure. And do you mind...
we got a bunch of tracks on this album.
And do you mind if I pull any photos from your Facebook page to post with the interview?
No, man. Go for it.
Okay, so the interview we just did, I'm planning to post it like in a week or so. I will let you know once I have a date, and you're more than welcome to share it on all your sites. But take care, Craig. I'll be talking to you.
Right on, Jason.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Ciao.
Chaotic Riffs Magazine.